The Separatist Alliance fought for independence and the right to govern themselves, away from the Republic's rule. With the help of powerful business tycoons, they came close. However, things were not as easy as it seemed. It's possible that there was an economic crisis looming for the Confederacy of Independent Systems if they were actually victorious in the Clone Wars. Now, for this video, I want to be focusing on some points that are kind of never addressed with the Clone Wars or the lore, and it's everyone's favourite subject, economics. Now, there's a lot of questions I have about Star Wars and its economy in relation to different factions and events, and a big one for me and the Separatists is who's paying for the huge military and the entire war efforts. We know that the Council was fronting the cost with the droids and the ships being used, but are they getting paid back? I find it very unlikely that they're funding the entire war themselves, but regardless, this isn't the subject of the video. I want to discuss why the galaxy would have incurred an economic crisis following a Separatist victory. At least it's a very strong possibility. Now, as we know, the Separatists wanted independence, and that didn't necessarily involve destroying the Republic and forcing everyone to be independent, but it definitely meant that they were out of it. The problem is, in order for the Separatists to win, they were going to have to make the Republic bleed. We know how destructive the war was. It destroyed cities, resources, and had a huge loss of life. And not to be cold about it or anything, but this is incredibly expensive to fix post-war. Rebuilding your planet from the ground up, fixing population offsets, all of this is incredibly difficult. And it can cripple in the real world a country, but in the Star Wars universe a planet or a system for decades or even centuries to come. Now, in our timeline, this didn't really matter because the Empire took power, and when the Empire took control, it had power over the banks and just about everything else. So they were able to rebuild pretty easy because everything belonged to them. Hell, even if the Republic won, it would have been within their best interests to help rebuild the old Separatist worlds that were destroyed in the war, as all of these worlds would have been remaining in the Republic, so they'd have been far more inclined to lend these worlds money and help them get back on their feet, because at the end of the day, they're all on the same team now. But the CIS is different. It's about independence. For this reason, they're not going to be helping the Republic. These worlds that they invaded and they're not going to then bail them out when they've destroyed them. I mean, hell, a lot of the Separatists post the end of the war probably wouldn't even help other Separatist worlds that were ex-allies rebuild. The thing is about the whole independence movement is that there's not a lot of teamwork when it's not necessary. At the end of the day, war is expensive, and there's no way the Separatist worlds are going to go and help their enemies. They've just left the Republic, why would they want to empower it again? So at this point, you're going to have a Republic that's basically unable to rebuild, and that's still going to be nearly 2/3 of the galaxy. Now, you may be thinking, well, Republic worlds can help one another rebuild, but that's not going to be very effective. For one, the Republic is probably going to be left paying reparations for the war to the Separatists, meaning expendable revenue is going to be very, very slim. And two, after losing the war, a huge chunk of the Republic's economy, in the form of its industry and territory, will be lost. So worlds are going to be more focused on helping themselves, making sure they can rebuild and helping their own people, than helping others. And at this point, the Republic's actual chain of command, leadership and government isn't going to be very powerful. They don't want to upset the remaining members that they have, because those members can just leave now. Now, naturally, what you would probably do in this situation is turn to a bank and get a loan. However, the Republic is already in crippling debt from the war. They had to fund the entire clone army, all those ships, all those weapons, and finding someone who's going to lend them further credit is going to be very difficult. Now, sure, the tycoons of the Separatist Council may be willing to help, but you can guarantee that they would want an extraordinary amount in return. The Republic may choose to create more credits to try to offset this, but as we know from Germany after World War I, that creates hyperinflation, and it just makes things worse. So essentially, you're going to be looking at a big portion of the galaxy in economic turmoil, but it doesn't only stop with the Republic. There's a very big knock-on effect here. On worlds such as Coruscant and Alderaan that have a lot of resources and a lot of money, people are probably going to be getting emergency tax to deal with the Republic's economic crisis, and this means that individual citizens or customers don't have a lot of expendable revenue. And when people don't have a lot of expendable revenue, you're going to experience economic stagnation, and that's going to affect everyone in the galaxy. What this essentially means is that people aren't going to be spending money, because it's not the right time, everything's too unpredictable. They don't have a lot of money right now, they're getting taxed, and, buying another speeder, buying a house, doing whatever, it's not a good time to buy. People are going to save their money away. And if we say that, I don't know, half the galaxy is still under the control of the Republic by the end of the war, that's half of the galaxy that's going to be going under this economic stagnation. Half the galaxy that's just not buying or selling. And that's obviously going to have knock-on effects with the separatists as well. Businesses will go under, consumers will stop buying goods from CIS worlds, and companies. Vital resources will be cut as worlds can just no longer afford to run them. And this could potentially cripple the galaxy for decades, if not centuries to come. The war and the following economic crash would severely damage not only the Republic, but everyone. But what do you guys think? Do you believe everyone would suffer due to a separatist victory and an economic crash? Or do you think that there's a way around it? And if so, what? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. If so, please remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter @TheLawGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.